Hello and congratulations for grabbing this video course on Local Lead CPA, or in other words, earning passive income by generating leads for local businesses that will be brokering the leads directly to those local businesses so you don't have to. This is video number 1, the introduction to generating leads for local businesses. Here's a quick overview of this specific video. We've got the video's overview, the mindset, general strategy, and what you need to get started. And then we can be on our way to video number 2. This is video number 1. Video number 2, we're going to talk about lead generation brokering companies. And there's a few things that you need to be aware of because local lead generation brokering companies are a lot more serious. All they really care about is the fact that you can generate leads for them. And they generally are not necessarily aware of the updating marketing strategies. So you have to be a lot more serious when approaching these types of companies. And you only get one try, so you want to make sure that you do everything possible to make it work. Video number 3 is about figuring out your lead niche market, whether it's roofing leads, plumbing leads, electrician leads, and so forth. Video number 4 is demographics. This basically sets everything up in terms of, the videos that we create have to be focused on the demographics itself. You got to figure out what they need, what they want, and that way you create the right content for your website. Video number 5 is basic keyword research, which we'll use throughout the whole process of creating a keyword rich domain name and so forth. LSI keywords will be great for content and for video content. Video 8 is making your website look professional. So you're going to be creating a WordPress site. There are 2 avenues to creating really fast WordPress sites. Keep in mind that these types of sites do not require a lot of content. They're just pretty much a one front page and that's it, because your whole goal is get people to the site, get them to take action, and that's the real key here. So nothing about creating a fancy website or anything like that. Video number 9 is creating videos that will market and generate leads for you. So this whole video series, I'm going to be using video marketing as the main strategy, but also in video number 10, we're going to upload the videos to YouTube. And as you know, YouTube has a really high authority, so ranking on Google is actually easier with YouTube. But there are several more steps that I'm going to be showing you how to rank your YouTube video higher. Because it's one thing to upload your videos to YouTube and get it ranked pretty high, but you want that number 1 spot or top 3 spots if all possible. So I'm going to show you how to create backlinks to the video and how to get it ranked higher. So mindset. I like to start out my video series with mindset, and because I want you to get into the right mindset. Now, I want you to understand that, yes, doing local lead generation can be tough when you're dealing with local businesses. And what I found over the years, even myself, when trying to deal with local businesses, is there's a lot of negotiation. There's a lot of hardships and headaches that you have to go through to convince a local business, because they don't necessarily get the idea that you can generate leads using online marketing strategies. So that can be the tough part. Some people, it's very, very easy. It comes naturally to them, the selling part, but the actual implementation part is harder for them. So I want you to understand that there's always going to be roadblocks, but this system has been developed so that you can remove as many roadblocks as you can, because we're going to be dealing with companies that already deal with local businesses. They have everything set up in place where they are seen as the company that generates leads for these local businesses. So obviously, no one will ever know who you are. You will be dealing with these local brokering companies, and because of that, all you have to do is generate the lead. So you generate the lead, you get paid, and that's it. No headaches whatsoever. And I want you to focus on a niche that piques your interest. A lot of these leads that will be generating deal with, stuff around the house. Contractors, local contractors that deal with a house. So I want you to think of a niche that piques your interest. Maybe you had plumbing done to your house or your apartment recently, and you realize, man, this bill is high. And you realize, okay, plumbing is something that I'm interested in right now, or roofing is something I'm interested in right now. Because if you can focus on some niche that piques your interest, then pushing past roadblocks is going to be easier. If you go all about the money first, it'll actually be harder in the long run. So I want you to understand, especially this right here. Focus on something that you enjoy, and then money as a secondary, and money will come. The general strategy, of course, is to find a local niche, whatever that interest might be. Research the demographics and the keywords properly of the customers that will be typing into Google, and then trying to find your videos that will direct them to your landing page. Step 3, I'm going to show you how to set up a super fast and easy landing page. Step number 4, we're going to talk about applying to local lead CPA sites. Now, like I mentioned earlier, when you apply to these sites, don't just apply to them if you don't have a website, because they are very, very serious, more serious and more strict than the online CPA sites out there. Step number 5 is driving traffic with the video marketing strategy. Now, video marketing has been, going on for many, many years, but the strategy that I'll be showing you is super easy to implement, but focuses on getting your videos ranked high onto Google. And of course, step number 6, rinse and repeat. So what do you need to get started? The majority of stuff that you'll need is stuff that you can easily gain access to on the internet, which is free. But the only things that you will have to pay money for are web hosting, obviously. You'll need a domain name. You'll need to have WordPress installed, and you can get WordPress easily for free. You need to have a WordPress theme. I'll recommend 2. And you need to have the ability to create videos. I'm going to be using Animoto, it does cost money, but it's not a whole lot if you create one video at a time. You need a YouTube account as well. There's other things that you're going to need. I'm going to show you along the way, but these are pretty much the primary things that you will be needing. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2 and talk about local brokering companies. Hey, and welcome to video number 2, lead generation brokering companies. So in this specific video, I am going to give you a list of several different CPA local lead type companies that you can apply to, so that you can see kind of your options and avenues that you can take. And I'm going to give you an idea of what to expect, because I've had experience with several of these companies, and I'm also going to give you an option revenue stream that works pretty well with this specific strategy. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before you apply to any of these companies, you have to be aware that local CPA companies are not the same as online CPA companies. A lot of online companies like Max Bounty and Neverblue are very, very lenient in terms of their approval process and in other areas. Now, with local CPA companies, they're not necessarily aware of the updated marketing strategies. They're not as lenient, and they want really serious people. Really what it comes down to is leads. they don't really care as much about how you generate the leads as much as you generating the lead, and of course that your lead quality is good. Now, a lot of online CPA companies actually put kind of a barrier on specific campaigns that you can only use social media or you can only use a certain type of strategy. I found that not to be true and not to be same with local CPA companies. So they are lenient in that manner, but they really want serious people. So if you don't appear to be serious up front, then most likely they're going to deny your claim. So if you do not appear serious, nor do you have a website up front, then your application will likely be denied. And you don't want to get denied because the next time you try to apply, it's going to be very, very hard to get through. So in other words, you've got to have a website, and that's what I'm going to show you in the future videos on how to develop at least a professional looking website where you can market and generate leads for them. Another thing to know is to know your marketing strategy, because they are going to ask you specifically how you are going to generate leads. So in other words, make sure you have a website and a clear marketing strategy before you apply. I cannot emphasize this enough, but this is very, very important. Skimp on any of these two things and you will likely get denied. And getting approved is very, very hard the second time. So they're going to ask you, what is your marketing strategy? How are you going to generate leads for us? Now, the most popular from what I found was Google AdWords or pay-per-click. And then social media, video marketing, or SEO, or search engine optimizations, or ranking on Google. They clearly understand these marketing strategies. Try to get into anything else and they pretty much are kind of clueless. So I'd stick with the general ones in terms of my clear marketing strategy. Now, I am going to be using a lot of video marketing. I prefer a lot of video marketing just because that's who I am. Now, you could go with social media if you want to do that. If you can geo-target your location and the people that are typing those keywords in, you can target them by location. Now, I'm not aware, a lot of these companies are within the US of A. So if you're in the UK or you're in any other country, then you might need to look into finding an affiliate program, like a local affiliate program that is within your country. Or you can use the strategy that I will be discussing with you at the end of this particular video. So you want to be specific, and I found that, of course, they're not aware of the updated marketing strategies. So if you can, keep possibly to these three. The main companies that I checked out, I know there are many, many more, but the main ones that I checked out was Angie's List. Angie's List is a little strict, but if you can get in, you can angle your site in so many different ways because they cover just about any contractor there are out there. So because Angie's List is pretty general, you could angle, your website as for roofing leads or getting a comparison of roofing companies. And you can angle it so many different ways and just get them in, and Angie's List will basically give you a commission. They are very, very strict. Very, very strict. So make sure that you have the two things, a website and a clear marketing strategy if possible. HomeAdvisor, which is formerly known as ServiceMagic, their reputation isn't as great among companies, but many companies are still using them. So they're still paying out. They still generate leads, which produces results. So if you can get into them, because you're not dealing directly with companies, you don't necessarily have to worry about that specific situation. The one that we will be using today is called Networks. Networks uses very, very serious affiliate managers, but there's a little more lenient in terms of their approval process. As long as you have a website and you tell them exactly what you want to do. And we're going to be using this in the video course. And then all they want in the end are leads that you can generate. I talked to the main affiliate manager, and this is a very small company, but many of the companies that, like local businesses that I dealt with, actually got leads from these companies. So I know they're actually a good company. And they are a little more lenient, but they are pretty strict in terms of the approval process. I'd say out of all these three, you'll probably get approved by Networks. AngelList is very, very strict. You might get approved by these two right here. But another revenue stream, if you're not in the US of A, then obviously I would recommend looking into your country and seeing if there is a possible site, a local CPA site that offers this. Otherwise, you could even look into online CPA and get into the local stream as well. But this is another revenue stream if you are in a country that doesn't have any like local CPA lead type companies. So if you're generating leads for these companies or getting leads period, you can also build sites and flip them as well. If you do flip them, then you want to make sure that you have all the tracking in place to ensure that you have the hard data and statistics so that when you approach local businesses, they're actually more willing to negotiate. What I found was in terms of lead generation itself, yeah, you run into a lot of difficulty with local businesses. But what I found a lot with local businesses was when you built a site that is getting hits to the site, you've got it ranked #1, and you approach the company and say, hey, I noticed that you're bidding on this specific keyword phrase. Or you could email out 5 different companies and send them all an email video saying, hey, this is going out to 5 different companies. I am listed #1. Here's the statistics if you want to take a look. Call me and give me your best price. And just sell off the website and flip it and sell it off itself. That in itself I found works pretty well, and there's not a lot of negotiation, and you have a lot more power in terms of selling it off. A lot less headaches involved. So this can be done anywhere in the world. As long as you have local businesses that are looking to use online marketing and websites to generate traffic, then those tend to be the easiest places to sell to. People that don't necessarily understand online marketing and generating traffic from websites, they may not be your ideal customer. So I wanted to make sure that you understood this just in case your country does not have like a local brokering type company. But like I said, you need to have your stats for this one. You need to have all the hard data that shows, how many click-throughs, how many possible people sign up, on the lists or through the site on Networks. You could even show them, hey, I've been generating leads for a local CPA company, and that eventually gives it to you. You could just buy this website off my hands and gain access to all the leads that it generates. But you need to have that hard data in order to properly sell. And you need to figure out how much they're willing to pay per lead and just get an idea of, okay, how many leads and traffic are actually coming to the site, so you can know the potential of the site. So that's another revenue stream that you could go under. But now I'm going to go to the next video and talk about how to figure out a niche market to develop your website around. Welcome to video number 3, figuring out your lead niche market. In this specific video, I'm going to help you pretty much brainstorm and get some ideas on which different lead niche markets that you can go into. What I want you to do is jot down things you recently got fixed that may have cost a lot, in terms of things that were done around the house, your apartment, or wherever you might live. Even if you don't own a house, you can do it in an apartment or anywhere else, or have a friend who may have had a roof replaced and so forth. A lot of these niche markets will deal specifically with house fixing or house construction, maintenance, and things like that. But this can also apply to a lot of other niche markets as well. Now, I'm specifically focusing on the niche markets of the house because a lot of the local lead CPA companies actually deal with these types of home niche markets. Now, you don't have to do that if you want to go out of the box and create sites, rank them number 1, and as a secondary or different revenue stream, sell them and flip them off the bat. That's fine as well. So for example, we've got roofing leads, electrician leads, plumbing leads, and more. The more specific the niche market is, the better. So you don't want to try to get roofing leads, electrician leads, and plumbing leads. I would focus on specifically one, because you really have to dig deep into one. The question here is, what interests you out of all of these? And here's a quick sample list that I have here. We have carpentry, cleaning, can be anything related to cleaning, concrete, electrical, fences, flooring, garage door service, handyman, which seems to be pretty high, electrical, pretty good, HVAC tends to be very good, landscaping, painting, pest control. So some of these can be seasonal, like pest control is usually year round, but usually during the summer, the pests usually come out of hiding, and then, so you can go seasonal, plumbing, remodeling, roofing, and tile. So what out of this list actually interests you? Now, if you go to google.com/trends, as you can see here, Google recently merged the insights with the trends. So basically, insights would allow you to see a statistical, the data of, keywords that are getting a lot of traffic, places like geography, in terms of which location geographically would be having the higher search volume, and things like that. So if I type in something like HVAC, which stands for kind of heating and air units, if we look at this, we can see it's pretty consistent. But it's peaked at July, June, and July. So basically during the summertime, there's a lot of people searching for HVAC. Now, I'm not going to dive into this right just yet, but if you look over here, you can see which locations geographically are being searched. Like in India, their search volume index of 44. In America, it's 50. And United States, it's 100. Australia, it's 15, and so forth and so forth. So this gives you an idea of the search volume. Now, if wherever you live, you know your place a little better than me, so you might know that, well, all right, we don't have a lot of HVAC, but we might have a lot of roofing. So I typed that in here, and I noticed here that their peaks are also, looks like April, spring and summer times, and a little bit of fall. But here you notice the roofing, there's a lot of, like UK has 80, United States has 100, Canada has 76, Australia has 68, India has 14, South Africa has 46, and so forth. And you can dig deeper and deeper and deeper, which I'll show you in the future videos how to do some basic keyword research and LSI keyword research as we dig down deeper. So right now I just want you to get an idea of your geographical location and possibly what could be a good niche that you could go into. So I hope that gives you some ideas, because in the next video we're going to dig deeper and figure out the demographics of that specific niche. Welcome to video number 5, demographics. We're going to dig deeper into the customer profile so that we can understand what kind of person visits these roofing sites or these HVAC sites that we will be developing. If you can do that, you will set yourself up for success, and you will be able to increase your conversion rates in terms of the content that you post onto your sites, the pictures that you use, and everything has to appeal specifically to the demographics. So this is very vital to your starting of your successful high converting site. So that's why demographics. Demographics of the leads or prospects of the companies. We've got to create a customer profile, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to do that. We can do that so we can create a site that targets this specific type of person. You want to know their needs, their problems, what keeps them up at night, and much, much more, so that you can provide them with a half solution. What I mean by half solution is you provide them with kind of an idea of, okay, what do I need to do next? So the thing they need to do next, which is the other half of the solution, will be basically filling out the form, the free estimate quote, and so forth. The question is, how will you be able to create content that will appeal to this specific person's needs? And the key to all this is basically creating that customer profile. Doing so will help you create the high converting site. It'll also help you create short pieces of content that will help you create a high converting site. So content, images, and so forth. Now keep in mind, you don't need a lot of content on these sites. These are sites specifically made to get people to the site and take action and fill out the form. And if you understand, a lot of people that, especially local, they do a search for roofing. They primarily want to know the phone number or even compare the roofing companies. That's what they're interested in, and you don't really need to supply too much content. Otherwise, they're going to get overwhelmed and they're going to go to a different website. So with that said, let's use an example here of a roofing niche. So before I build a site that appeals to people who are looking for roofers to either replace their roof or patch up holes in the roof that are leaking and repair their roof, I need to do a quick customer profile. So what I want you to do is go to a site called Alexa.com, then go to a site called Quantcast.com, as you can see here, QUANTCAST.com, and then I want you to open up WordPad or Notepad or something that you can create the customer profile within. So basically step 1, step 2, and then step 3. So the reason why we want to go to Alexa.com is simple, because Alexa.com provides you with a lot of top sites that get a lot of traffic. Now, they may not necessarily get the exact data of the site that's getting a lot of traffic, but all I want to know is the highest sites, simply because all I need to do is plug that into Quantcast, and then that will give me the data that I'm looking for. So if I go to Alexa here and I type in roofing contractors, and you can try a number of different keywords if you want to do that as well. So it looks like we got nrca.net, which is, I don't know what that is. Let's see, finding roofing contractors possibly. Now I want to visit the site just to make sure that what I'm dealing with is something that I really want. So it says National Roofing Contractors Association. And you want to make sure that the type of people who are looking for roofing companies visit this site. Now, this site may be attracting like roofing contractors. So this isn't really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sites where people go to find roofing contractors. So let's try roofingcontractor.com. So I paused this video and I took a look at several different sites so that you didn't have to look at me sift through all of them. But basically I went with the roofingcontractor.com, Horvey.com, which seems to be a roofing company itself, eLocal Roofers, and Roofing Networks, which is actually this site is actually run by Networks itself. But basically what I want to do is simply copy the domains into Quantcast.com and see if I get any results, because some sites will actually not give any results. Like this one here has some results. I'm going to open up a few more tabs. As you can see here, I got 3 more tabs because I want to take a look at all these other sites here. So I'm going to go to Quantcast, a blank site here, do a search for Horvey. And then I'll paste this here and do the same thing. Okay, these 3 sites. Okay, so if you go down here, it says US demographics, and it might be different in your country, but what I try to stick with usually is the age, male or female, this, and this. If you're in different countries, it might be different in terms of the ethnicity and race. But as we can see here, male and female, it's about average. Female is a little more. Looks like older age, about 35, especially 55 years old to 65. No kids, earning $0 to $100,000 a year. No college. That's interesting. Caucasian, Hispanic. And if I go here, let's take a look at this again. No kids. That's that college, Asian and other. And then age 35 to 44. So what I'm trying to figure out is a pattern. Like, is this giving me a consistent pattern? I see a consistent pattern in terms of the age, no kids, and how much money they make, and the ethnicity. But when it comes to male and female, it seems to be about average in both cases. Now, another thing I can do here is under Quantcast, you can type in roofing and see what we get. And I went to Quantcast and typed in roofing, and it gives you 3 websites, roofingtalk.com. And let's take a look at the site. And I'm looking at the site, and it seems like it's more for roofers, so that's not necessarily the target audience that we're looking for. Now, Roofing Networks is one of the main sites, so I know that a lot of people that go here actually are looking for roofing companies. So I'm going to go by this demographic profile. I'm going to open up WordPad and simply copy it over. So it looks to me male and female seem to be about equivalent, but it seems the age bracket is about starting at 34 and above. Primarily people that are 55 to 65 plus with no kids, 0 to about 100,000. Now I saw a consistent of no college to college. And then I saw, it looks like Caucasian, Hispanic, and other seem to be the primary. So that's basically it, and that gives us an idea of who we're dealing with possibly. Now, we don't know exactly, but we're pretty close to the demographics of who we're dealing with. So now that you know the demographics, we can move on to the next videos and talk about research in terms of basic keyword research and LSI keyword research and so forth. That will help us basically get things created successfully and targeting the right person. Welcome to video number 5, basic keyword research. We're going to basically get the keyword plus the geographical location. Now, I showed you this in the previous videos on using Google Insights, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper in terms of the keywords where the locations are. Now, just because you're in United Kingdom or Canada or even me being in the USA, that doesn't mean that I can only target my own geographical location. The beauty of the internet is that you can still build websites in other geographical locations. So with that said, let's go back to Google Trends or Insights, which is the same thing, and let's go do this. Okay, so if you go to google.com/trends and you do a search for roofing or any other specific keyword that you want to target, in this case, I've done a search on roofing and my geographical location is in the United States. Now, like I said earlier, you don't have to go after your geographical location if you don't want, as long as you see that there are local companies that are trying to generate leads, there is a market in that area. Now, if I click on United States, anything that is in the darker range is the higher volume. So, for example, Florida has 85, Colorado has 95, Ohio has 85, and Tennessee has 86. Now, when I think of roofing, I think of people that are replacing this simply because of the weather's bad and so forth. Like, especially in Ohio and Pennsylvania, stuff in the north, there's a lot of snow. Stuff in the south, there's a lot of, hurricanes and rain and so forth. Now, if you click on your specific geographical location, let's say South Carolina, which is this location. So let's say, for example, okay, we got 92, 100, Augusta, 71, and Savannah, so forth. I'm going to dig into my location, which let's say is Columbia, 62. Comparatively to the other ones, there's not a whole lot. But you've got to also remember, if you're dealing with local CPA companies, you got to figure out where are their services located. they may not serve other locations. So you might need to talk to your affiliate manager and ask them about that. So I can see right now that Columbia SC Roofing gets about 85, which is pretty good. Rising Metal Roofing. So I could create a specific site about metal roofing. So you don't have to create a general site about just roofing in general. You can say metal roofing Columbia, South Carolina, or metal roofing city, state. In fact, the more specific I found, the better. So right now I just want to get an idea of the related terms. So let's say, for example, that I want to go to Florida, maybe Jacksonville. Let's see if Jacksonville is available. Okay, Jacksonville has 93. Tampa has 100. Now these areas are probably more high competitive areas, so just keep that in mind. So if I click on Jacksonville, for example, we've got Jacksonville roofing, Jacksonville, Florida, metal roofing, so forth and so forth. So these are kind of the related terms that we're dealing with, but the highest ones are roofing Jacksonville and roofing Jacksonville, Florida. So let's say, for example, that you get a WordPad and kind of keep track of what we're dealing with here. So I could go after Jacksonville. And I could specifically go after metal roofing Jackson, Florida. But in this case, I'm going to keep it general as possible. I'll just say roofing Jacksonville, Florida, because there might be another Jacksonville, in the other parts of the United States. So I'm going to say, we'll just say roofing Jacksonville, Florida as my main keyword. And then these other keywords as kind of as a secondary keywords. Now you can also take a step a notch up and go to google.com, do a search on Google Keyword Tool, and do some research here as well. I could type in Jacksonville, Florida roofing. I want the United States. We're gonna just go ahead and enter the CAPTCHA here. And this gives us a good idea of other keywords that we could go after. So roofing contractors, Jacksonville, Florida. You've got your global monthly searches and your local monthly searches. Your local monthly searches simply applies to the location here. Global is obviously global, and I'm not really interested in global monthly searches. The competition also is very, very high, as you can see here. So I could go after something smaller like roofing Jacksonville Beach, Florida, or Roof Masters, which I think is a company name, and so forth. So that kind of gives you an idea here. I could go after roofing Jacksonville Beach, Florida, which is medium competition, and go after here. Now, depending on the strategy, the marketing strategy that you use, I found that you could even go after the high competition and do pretty well as well. But I want to generate leads fast. So let's say 200 people, out of the 200 people, maybe 10 people go to my roofing form and fill it out. I get $40 a piece. So that's $400. So that's not really bad at all. So that gives me another avenue that I could take. Roofing Jacksonville Beach, Florida, 210. So that should give you a better idea of the main keyword that you want to target. Geographically it has to look like keyword plus city, state. That's what you want. Because we want to target people as specific as possible. And when you're dealing with local, search engine optimization, it's actually a lot easier than the online search engine optimization. So that said, let's end this video and move to the next video where I talk about LSI keywords. Welcome to video number 6, which is LSI keyword research. What are LSI keywords? Basically, think of it this way. You've got two readers of your website. You've got readers that will actually read your content, like real actual human readers, which the end result for them is to fill out the form. Google and other search engines will actually read your content, and they'll try to figure out what your content is about. And that's what relates to LSI keywords. Is Google will come to your site, look at your site, and it says, okay, is your site really about roofing? Let's take a look at this. So what Google does is it has this huge database of keywords, and it takes a look at your list of keywords that you're using, and it kind of measures it and sees whether or not your site is about what it says it does. If that's the case, the end result is better search engine optimization, which means better search engine ranking, which means better search engine traffic and more traffic. So how do you get access to these LSI keywords, which you can actually use to create your content, your video content, and so forth? So basically, the way you get it is by using the Google Keyword Tool. So you can expand upon your general keyword, which in this case could be roofing Jacksonville, Florida. And particularly the keyword itself, we can expand on roofing, and we can, LSI keywords could be something like roof leaks or metal roofing, certain types of roofing, and certain types of tools for roofing, asphalt, architectural shingles, single shingles, and things like that. So this will basically expand on your general keyword. So let's apply what you've learned and use it to get more keywords that we can use for our content and creating our videos. Now, one of the best tools that you can use to get your LSI keywords is simply the Google Keyword Tool that we used in the previous video. So just go back to the Google Keyword Tool. There is a site called lsikeywords.com, but what I found is that that site tends to be down a lot. So it's not necessarily the best reliable site. So I like to use Google's Keyword Tool because, I mean, it's pretty obvious that they know who and what is being searched, so they have a better idea. So instead of typing roofing Jacksonville, Florida, I'm just going to type in roofing. Do a search and see what we get. So we've got roofing, roofing materials, roofing repair, roofing company, roof shingles, roof companies, roof singles. So these would be good keywords that you can actually use within your content itself. Now, if you are, let's say for example, metal roofing, then you want to get as specific as possible in relation to metal roofing. So let's say for example, you do a content or article piece on metal roofing. Then you want to be as specific as possible and type in the keyword metal roofing. Now, as you can see here, it says metal roof panels, Fable metal roofing, corrugated metal roofing colors, and so forth and so forth. Now, Google doesn't necessarily like when your site is stuffed with the same keyword. In fact, I believe that they've been making changes to their search engine itself so that if you do a lot of keyword stuffing, it can actually negatively impact your ranking. So you want to be as natural as possible. So what I would do is I would remove the keyword metal roofing, and I would say something like installation, price, materials, prices, panels, systems, contractor supplies, galvanized, rusted, leaking, stuff that deals with metal roofing. And if you want to go more specifics, you could even say something like roof maintenance and do a search on that. And if we do, let's say, an article on roof maintenance, we can get a list of LSI keywords here. Roof leaks. You could do an article on roof leaks and target those specific people. And you can see roof leak repair, flat, roof leaks, fix. So you're basically taking parts of the word. Fix, how to repair a roof leak. So that might be one of your article pieces. So I hope from this you've gotten an idea of the LSI keywords that you can use in your articles, in your short pieces of content, as well as in your videos themselves. Welcome to video number 7, keyword domain names. Now, before we can create a website, we need to get a domain name that is related specifically to the keyword and geographic location. You want to get a keyword-rich domain name, which includes your keyword. So when you buy your domain name, you want to get the keyword plus geographic location. So in this case, we would want something like roofing, Jacksonville, Florida, or roofing contractors, Jacksonville, Florida. So make sure that you combine the keyword plus the geographical location. I recommend Namecheap.com, and they are one of the best, in my opinion, domain registrars that I've encountered. You can go with Namecheap or GoDaddy.com, but over the years I found Namecheap.com to be one of the best. So let's take this and put it in action. So if you go to Namecheap.com or whatever domain registrar that you want to use, simply go do a search for the keyword, in this case, roofing, Jacksonville, Florida. Now, I know Jacksonville, Florida is huge. It's a huge city. This is likely going to be taken. What I want to see is if the .net or .org has been taken. If that has been taken, I'm going to do a few more tricks that I'm going to show you. So as expected, the .com, .net, and .org have been taken. What I could try next is try putting dashes in between the keywords and do a search on that. Now, in my opinion, I think these have been taken. And it looks like they're free. Okay, well, looks like they're not taken. If that is taken, though, I want to say roofing Jacksonville, Florida. You could also put something like X or Q or HQ, like headquarters kind of thing. And what Google will do is it'll actually read everything from the left-hand side to the right-hand side as a keyword. So if it says, oh, roofing Jacksonville, Florida, and you have something like X, it'll read, this right here. So just want to make that note in case whatever you're looking for is not available. And another thing to note is for the Namecheap.com, if you go to Google and you do a search for Namecheap coupon code and whatever time it is, let's say for example, now is April 2013, you can actually find promotional codes that Namecheap coupons will give you. So for example, April 2013 coupon code, it says here that the standard code is Springy. And I can save usually about $1, but I mean, think about it. If you get 10 of these, that's like $10 savings. Now, in order for that coupon to work, you have to have a Namecheap account. So you have to go ahead and log in, add this to your cart, and while you're logged in, enter the coupon, because the coupon will not work if you are not logged in. So that's a very short video. I hope you got an idea of how you can go about getting the right domain for your website. Now, before I end this video, I do want to say that you have to get web hosting as well. So you need a domain name, but you need to have web hosting as well. And you can get web hosting under Namecheap. They have web hosting here. I used to recommend HostGator.com, but I've seen kind of changes over the years, and they're a little more stricter in their policy of cancellation, so you have to worry about that. But Namecheap hosting is fairly good. Other sites you could go to is go under Google, type in web hosting forum talk special offers. And if you go to these sites like webhostingtalk.com, you can actually find really good deals for web hosting offers. You can find, fairly big web hosting companies that will give you like a whole year's worth of web hosting for like $10. So if you want to save money, I'd recommend webhostingtalk.com. Do a search on their offers and do a search sometimes. And sometimes I'll even see it for like $1.99 or $5.99 for the whole year, because people will compete like crazy at these web hosting companies. So remember, you need a domain name and you need web hosting. When you get the two, you need to connect the two, and then you need to set up WordPress. And to set up WordPress, if you have cPanel, it's really easy to do that. But if you type in WordPress install, you can actually download WordPress here, and it'll actually show you step by step how to do the installation. Now, if you want to learn how to install it through cPanel, just go to Google and type in cPanel WordPress install YouTube. There's so many different videos that show you, how to do that. But I want to make sure that you understand, how to go about doing the basics so that you can actually set up your WordPress theme and get it up and running, which I'm going to talk about in the next video, which next video is going to be a lot more to talk about. So I want you to get your site up and running first, and then we'll talk about setting everything up to generate leads. All right. So with that said, let's move on to the next video. Welcome to video number 8, making your website look professional. This video is designed to help you understand how to create or reproduce a correct layout by using WordPress themes. I'm going to give you an option of a free theme and a theme that costs money, but both have and follow the layout that we're looking for. What we did was we tested different layouts, and we figured out which layout actually works the best in terms of lead generation. So in order to make your website for the purpose of lead generation, to get somebody to take action, you need to choose the correct theme and the correct design. Now, there are two themes that we found that worked really well. And the first one is called GoPress, and that's free. EasyLeadsTheme.com, which is a theme that does cost a little bit money, but it is the correct layout that we're looking for here. And I'll show you what that layout looks like right now. So we got a lot to cover in this video, so let's go ahead and get rocking. So here's a mock-up design that I created of a layout that is great specifically for lead generation. And this really follows a lot of WordPress themes, but what you're looking for is basically a 2-column WordPress theme where you have the ability to have the company logo or text here, the call out number, the tagline here, a slider or video, contact form, a map, welcome text, footer, widgets here, and social media icons. In fact, in the past when I did web design work for local businesses, what I found was there was one particular company that did a lot of testing, and they actually showed me this was similar to the layout that they showed me, but after comparison of other successful lead generation pages, we found that this format was great for local lead generation because when somebody lands on your site, okay, they see your company, they see the tagline, but they see a call us number which is compatible with mobile phones. And then they see a contact form right here that they have the ability to fill it out for a free estimate or other things like that. Then you have, map, welcome text, video, or slider, which gives you the ability to present them with your services and things like that. Now, obviously, in this case, we're generating leads for the local brokering company, but the people that will be visiting the site will be actual people that are interested in that company. So you kind of have to create a middleman type lead generation site. So the stuff that's on the site will be quite general, like roofing. We'll have general roofing pictures. We might have some welcome text or some tips and advice on roofs, like the 5 maintenance tips on roofs, and a map. The map could be replaced with, a banner ad or something like that. And the reason why I want you to do this layout is not only does it convert really well, but let's say in the future, in the long term, that you decide to sell this lead generation website to a local roofing company, then you've already set up the site to do just that, and all you have to do is make a few tweaks with their own logo and information like that, and guess what? You have your site to be sold. So this is great for right now, short term, and long term as well, whether you stick with lead generation or you flip the site and you sell it off. So this is a mock-up design of a possible layout that would be good. Another possible layout that might be good is something like this, where at least it's a 2-column, where you have everything up at the top, you got a page or post with information and the same stuff here. So now that you know what kind of layout to look for, let's go to google.com. And I've pretty much done all the research for you already, but there's one called GoPress, which is free, and it's GoPress free WordPress news theme. And this is what it looks like. So as you can see here, you have the logo, you've got a banner ad, we've got navigation links, but tagline, and then we have here a slider here, and then you have this sidebar, and the sidebar here can be customized with a contact form, with Facebook information, with banner ads and other things like that. So it's highly flexible in that case. But I also want to show you an example of the easyleadstheme.com WordPress theme, which should be released quite soon. I got access to this, and as you can see, it follows pretty much our layout, and it's really, really cool because it's so easy. In fact, it's almost more easier than GoPress. GoPress is obviously free though, so definitely give that a try. But EasyLeads theme, as you can see, we've got the logo, We've got, you know, a link up here that could be replaced with your contact information, tagline. We've got the slider here, the free estimate area here, which is actually from the network's affiliate program, and then the welcome text and news items and so forth. So I'm going to be setting up something that looks similar to this. But in order for us to set this up, you need to have WordPress installed. So I'm going to go ahead and install the WordPress site here. So we already have this here. And I'm going to log in. And there we go. So we've got pretty much like a clean installation. I'm going to update it here. And while that is updating, I'm going to log into my networks account. And if I go to forms, you can see that there's a bunch of forms that you can choose. And I picked this one. And basically, all we have to do is simply click on one of these links. Let's see, you can't do it yourself, get free estimates, find qualified local contractor. So in my opinion though, what I found converts better is something that looks like an actual contact form, because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for either something like this or they're looking for like a phone number to call. But with these types of local brokering companies, you can't really have necessarily a phone that, you know, that people can call unless you set up like a phone call with a voice message that says go to such and such link. So that's another strategy that you could take. But if you click on here, I'm particularly interested in roofing. So I'm going to unselect everything except roofing, click Save Services, and then highlight all, copy, and I'm going to copy this to a safe place like WordPad so I have it later on. So after we're done with that, I can close this out. And if I go back to my WordPress site, I'm going to be installing this sample site in a subroot folder called roofing. But for most of you, of course, you want to install it in your domain name at the top here. But anyways, what we need to do is we need to install the theme. Whether you go with GoPress or EasyLeads theme, that's your choice. But with GoPress, you do have some flexibility in terms of the front page. And I've used this particular theme before in setting things up. I can say it's definitely easy. Now, in this case, I'm going to be installing the EasyLeads theme, WordPress theme. You can use anything you want, but in this case, I'm going to use EasyLeads theme. So I'm going to locate the files. Let's see here. So I'm going to go under Appearance and Themes, and then I'm going to go to Install Themes, click Upload, and I'm going to upload the zip file. I'm going to click Install now. Now the cool thing about EasyLeads theme is that they have this import and export feature. So for example, the roof replacement Columbia, South Carolina site that I own, this runs on EasyLeads theme, and all I did was basically exported it. They have this setting where you can save it, import it, export it, and then you can import it into a different site. But I'm going to import it. You got to find the file first. And if I visit the site, let's take a look at what it says. So as we can see here, it's pretty much uploaded everything that I was looking for. So within a matter of seconds, I was able to upload everything. Now, if we go to appearance and theme options, this is basically the font area, the header area. You can upload the logo. As you can see, I've uploaded the logo, and just by importing the feature, that's so cool. Within minutes or within seconds, I was able to set that up. Now, the one thing I might want to change is this. So I could change this to a phone number. So I could say something like 1-800-8888. I could change the number color, and I could change the link to like a telephone number. And the one thing to note is, and whenever you want to make it compatible with mobile phones and smartphones and iPhones and Androids and so forth, what you do is put a TEL colon right before the phone number. If you do that, then when somebody reaches your site, then they actually will see, call this number. So in other words, instead of putting a hyperlink, just put the TEL colon blank. Now I can't say if that's compatible with the other themes, but this theme, all you have to do is that. So save changes here, gonna refresh the page. Okay, there you go. So we got a phone number at the top. So that way, if somebody clicks on that number, what I could do is, because networks and other local lead companies usually only allow the form itself, then in this case, I would probably set up a phone number that says, call this number. They call that number, says, please go to such and such, website to get matched with screened roofers or something. But you don't want to set it up where it looks like it's a scam either. So then we got the slider area. You can add slider images quite easily. Or you can use a video. We can make a video as well. And I'll show you how to create a video that kind of gets people to take action in the next video after this. And then we got the contact form. This is where you post the local lead CPA code form, and that's how this form appears right here. You got welcome text, you got a map, news items, and social media icons. But I pretty much set it up with the very most basic type stuff. So with EasyLeadsTheme.com, you can set it up super fast. I basically have a copy, but I think it's being released soon. But if you go with GoPress, it's actually quite easy as well, and I'll show you how to do that. All you do is have the same access to those files that I showed you, but if you go under files here, GoPress, we'll just install this so you can see a secondary option that you can take. GoPress is great too. The only thing with GoPress is it takes a little more time. Through my experience, I found that GoPress took about a few hours to about a day. So the other one definitely speeds it up, but this one is pretty flexible as well. So it's free. It just takes a little more time. So as you can see right now, I'm basically going through the whole process of installing the GoPress, clicking on activate here, and this is GoPress. So I pretty much reset everything, but it looks like this now. But if you click on theme settings, you can change the logo here. So in this example, I need to find my logo files. So click upload image. Actually, let me see if I don't have a file yet. Okay, select files. choose the logo image, insert into post, save options. I'm going to go to the live site and refresh the page, and there we go. Now, I don't recommend putting a banner ad. I would recommend, well, you can't really put a phone number, so you might have to put a banner ad, actually, come to think about it. So let me pause this video and I'll make a banner ad and tweak these right here. Okay, so I'm back and we're going to use this image here as a banner ad. Call now, free estimate, 1-800-ROOF-REP. And we're going to need to place it here. And I believe, okay, the header banner, it allows to do that. But you have to enter the banner code here for the header. So to do that, you have to go to media, go to add new. We have to upload the banner ad itself, which is here. After we upload this, let's see, maximum upload size. Okay, good. I've done that. But I still need to get the URL. So I have to get the file URL, which let's just double check here. Yeah, okay, good. But you have to use an embed code here. So you have to say something like IMG space SRC equals this. And I believe that's it. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, that's it. And you can make it clickable if you put a hyperlink, href equals. So you can pause this video and just look at what I am typing in here. 1-800-888-8888. Save options. Refresh the page. And there we go. So as you can see at the very bottom here, when I mouse over here, you can actually see TEL : phone number. So now this is compatible with smartphones and so forth. Now with GoPress, you can do slides, but if we click on add new, you have to actually upload the images to your media library and get the image URL and put it here, and put the description and the title here in order for this to work. So there's a few more steps, as you can see, but if you want to go with GoPress, you can actually do that. Now, if I go back here, this is the sidebar widget area. So if I go to the widgets area, and I'm going to move all these information over here, and I want to include that local lead form. So I'm going to make a copy of that and move the text widget over here. I'm going to enter this here and click on save, and that should work. And it does. So you can see it's fairly clean and good looking, but you just have to populate it with a slider if you want to, and other information as well. So this is highly customizable as well, just takes a little more time to get used to. May take a few hours to a day to get it up and running, but it's free. So that's another avenue, and I wanted to show you two different avenues so you have an idea of a free version that might take a little bit of time, or a paid version if you don't have a lot of time and you want to just get up and running fast. With the Easy Leads theme, you can actually import it, export it, and every time you set up a niche site, let's say you have to set up like 10 different roofing sites, you could easily import, and within less than a minute you've got 10 sites up and running. So that's a neat little cool feature with that. But GoPress is great as well, and looks great as well, as you can see here. And if you want to customize it further by adding pages, if you want to, that's fine. In my opinion, what I found was you don't want to include too many pages. You want people to be focused as much as possible, because the more distractions that a user gets, the lower your conversion rate actually decreases. Now, I'm going to show you how to create a video, which you could place here if you want to. I'm not sure if GoPress actually allows you to do videos here. I know Easy Leads theme does, but I'm going to show you how to create a video that is going to get people to take action in the next video after this. Welcome to video number 9, creating videos that will market and generate leads for you. Now, since you're going to use videos as the method and the strategy to drive traffic to your site, first you're going to need to create one. We're going to be using a site called Animoto.com. It's probably the easiest video creation that I've encountered to create our videos. Inside the videos, we're going to be using demographics, possible demographics, or get an idea of, okay, how do our keywords impact the demographics? We're going to use keywords to emphasize the problems and or tips. And we're also going to be using some copywriting swipes, which is a really fast way to get high converting copywriting words. That way you don't have to think at all when you create your videos. You can do it on your own from scratch, but I'd highly recommend that you check out the site called 2000ultimateswipes.com, because I will be using that PDF within this specific video to create these videos. So with that said, let's go ahead and create some videos. So I've logged into my Animoto account, but before we can jump right in and begin to create a video, we need to have a good idea of what the video is going to be about. Now, if I go under my files here, I went ahead and had somebody design a banner ad for me, which I can use in the video. Now, in this particular video, let's say, for example, that I'm going to give top 5 roof maintenance tips and get people, feeling like, okay, I trust this video. What do I do next? Where do I go next to fill out the form? So in this case, I'm targeting people specifically, for example, with Columbia roof replacement. You can get these banner ads created at Fiverr.com if you want to do that, or Odesk.com, or any other site. And I want to show you this as well. I went to Fiverr.com and I found this link here that says, I will write a 500-word unique quality article and pass it through Copyscape. So this person promised 24 hours. So I went ahead and got this person to write, 2 articles on 5 roof maintenance tips, and topic number 2, how to find a good roof contractor. And within less than 24 hours, I received these 2 articles here, which I can use for my videos. So you can leverage other people's time by getting other people to do the work for you and simply go about doing that. So this is about, 5 roof maintenance tips here. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to open this up so that you can see what it looks like and what we're dealing with. So we've got roof care basics. I'm going to go through the article here and basically bold the text that I think will be the most beneficial. So it says check on it. Number 1, check on it. every once in a while, visit the roof to inspect the whole thing. Look closely for damages like cracks or loose missing tiles. It is best to do this before a storm falls. Okay, so that's pretty obvious. Visit the roof to inspect the whole thing. Look closely for damages like may cause further trouble. So maybe that will be number 1. So I'm going to go to my WordPad here, and I'm going to say number 1, look closely for damages like cracks and so forth. And we got number 2, number 3, number 4, and 5. So we got 5 different preventative tips that will show up in the Animoto video. Now I could shorten this by saying, let's say, look closely for cracks or loose tiles, loose or missing tiles. So you want to get as short as possible, because when somebody's watching the video, they're going to glance at the video itself. And number 2, treat those threats. At the first sight of molds and mildews on the roof, grab the best mold treatment. All right, so why don't we just say something like, watch out for mold and mildew. And number 3, keep the trees trimmed. So if not, the branches, leaves, okay, so we can say, we'll just say, keep trees away from the roof. And number 4, choose professionals. You may consider yourself good enough to do roof care alone. They can do the inspection better, give comprehensive inspection. So I'm going to say, get a professional to do a comprehensive inspection. Prevention is better than cure. This does not only go for people, but be for roofs too. Do not wait until the roof is in absolute damage. All right, secure gutter joints if you have loose ones. So that might be another one. Secure gutter joints. So I'm going to say those are the 5 tips. I'm going to use these tips here. I'm going to use the banner ad that I got created. Let's say banner ad. And then I'll use maybe an image of the roof if I can. Let's see what kind of images I have. Let's see, I've got the before and after pictures side to side, and let's say I'm going to work with these pictures here. Now you can also go to bigstockphoto.com, which is another site where you can gain access to pictures. So we can type roof, and because I'm dealing specifically with roof problems, one of these I could get this for the professional inspection. I could use this. You could use possibly even this. So just go here and grab a bunch of images that you think would relate specifically to these 5 tips. And you know what? Maybe I'm going to do something like, I'll put this one at the last. Let's see. To get a professional, let's see. Let me see. I'm going to go to the copywriting swipes here and see if I can get a headline to make it convert better. So the 2000 swipes here, there's article titles, benefits, bullet points, call to actions, comparisons, decisions, follow-ups, getting your idea across, and so forth. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the questions section, which is page 170. It's like, do you want to learn how to... Do you want to learn 5 tips to maintaining your roof the right way? So, is it wonderful to blank with minimum risks? Let's see. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to get rid of... Okay, I'm going to use this one here. So I'm going to say up at the top here, do you want to learn 5 maintenance tips Okay, I paused the video and just reworded it to, do you want to learn 5 tips to maintaining your roof the right way? Or we could say, want to learn 5 tips the right way. And I'm going to go back up here to the table of contents. And we got decisions. Let's see, I want to make the decision. Let's see, flying off the shelf, secure your copy. Okay, so as I was going through here, I got some ideas. Because the CPA lead offer that the landing page is set in a way where people can compare roofers. So I'm going to say something like, click the link below. Okay, want to compare roofers in your area? Click the link below. Or you could say, go to roofingjacksonvilleflorida.com. Or you could say, click the link below to fill out the form. What I found is if you give people the heads up that they're going to fill out a form or a specific action and they click on that, then they're more likely to fill out that form than walk away because they are aware of what to expect ahead of time. Okay, so now that we have created kind of our script here, I'm going to go to Animoto and create the videos. Now there's several different Animoto styles that you can choose from. I have the Pro version, so there's a lot more styles. But I have to think clearly about my demographics. And I think in this case, most people don't want anything necessarily fancy, so I'm just going to do with the Animoto original. I'm going to create a video by clicking create video. And the first thing I'm going to do is to, let's see, I'm going to upload this image here. So I can add pics and videos, which is the neat thing. I'm going to click this here. I think I'm going to click this here and click on open. And I'm going to go down here. It says, okay, I'm going to add some text to maintaining your roof. And I generally like to capitalize most of the words. Click on save. I'm going to move this here. And let's see, want to learn. And I'm just going to start putting the tips here. Add text. Number 1. Got number 2. I think I'm going to move this over to here because this picture represents missing tiles. To watch out for mold and mildew, I'm going to put that here. I'm going to put the next one here. And add another text here. So you can see how fast it is to create this video. Let's see, comprehensive inspection. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. So click on Save Settings. Now what I can do is I can go to Settings. I can click on here and actually change the music or the sound. Or I can upload my songs here. But I think what I'm going to do now is just click on Preview Video. And as you can see, we've rendered it, so we're going to click here. So as you saw, within just a few minutes, I was able to create a pretty professional video. Okay, so from that point, I'm going to click on Produce. And then I'm going to render the file, the video file, to get it ready for upload to YouTube in the next video. Welcome to video number 10, uploading your videos to YouTube. Before we upload the videos, we're going to optimize your videos. To get a general idea, the videos on YouTube will point to your landing page. The title will have your main keyword and a phrase with an LSI keyword. The description will contain the following: your main keyword, LSI keywords in a paragraph format explaining a little bit more detail about the video itself, and a link to the landing page. Before you can upload your video, you need to have the video in hand. So we've rendered the video in Animoto and we have it here. Now I need to go to Upload, select the files to be uploaded, click Open, and we'll begin the uploading process. Now, as it is beginning to upload, we need to change the title by including the main keyword, putting a dash, and then putting a phrase that includes the LSI keyword. So in this case, we can say something like roofing, Jacksonville, Florida, 5 roof maintenance tips. And then in the description itself, you want to put the main keyword dash a description, which includes a bunch of LSI keywords. And then at the very end, we want to put the landing page. And maybe at the very end of this, you could say something like, to compare roofing companies, click the link below. And that's it. With tags, you can put roofing, Jacksonville, Florida. And as you can see, it's already generated it. So we can say something like, we could click here, do plus, click Save Changes. You want to make sure that it is public category. This is more of a how-to, so that's fine. Your settings cannot be saved. Your description is too long. I think it's because of this here. And yeah, it was actually the link. So what I need to do is just, I'll just put google.com. But you need to place your URL of your landing page right here. And of course, at that point, that's all we need to do. And if I open up this link here, you can actually see the video itself. And that's all you have to do. Now that you've uploaded the video to YouTube and optimized it, it's time to build backlinks to the video so that you can increase the search engine rank of your video on Google. There are several ways to do this. You can use a program called Tribe Pro to build social media backlinks, or you can go on Fiverr.com and find somebody that can do this for you. Fiverr.com backlink packs. It's easy to use Fiverr.com to get somebody else to do the work for you, to build social bookmarking, Web 2.0 backlinks, and more. What you want to do is drive as many targeted backlinks to the video itself. And what I would do is I would gradually spread it out among weeks and weeks and weeks. The one thing you do not want to do is to generate 1,000 backlinks on one day and then none the rest of the week or month. Otherwise, it will look unnatural. When it comes to backlinking, you want to make it look as natural as possible. So that's it. Congratulations, you're done with the video series, and all you have to do is rinse and repeat. You've heard it all. There's money to be made in local marketing. But every time you get into the arena, you realize it's actually harder than it looks. Dealing with local businesses is a whole different animal and can be complicated if you are not as familiar with this arena. Now, how would you like to make passive income without the need to sell to local businesses directly? I know I would, and when I stumbled upon this system, I no longer had to deal with local businesses that were really hard to deal with. Finally, a system that doesn't require you to sell anything to anyone or deal with local businesses and owners directly. In this video series, you're going to learn how to earn a nice passive income by simply connecting potential customers and local businesses together, starting today. What I want to do now is give you a quick videos overview of all the videos that are in this specific video series. The first video is the introduction to generating leads for local businesses. In that video, I will cover everything that you will need to get started and how it all works. Video number 2 is lead generation brokering companies. These specific companies deal directly with local businesses so that you don't have to. And because they deal with local businesses, if you generate leads for them, then they will usually give you a certain amount of money per lead. So in other words, you're getting paid whenever somebody fills out a form. Similarly to CPA online type offers. But in this case, we're dealing with local lead generation companies. So instead of you dealing with the local businesses, somebody else is, and you're generating leads for that company. Now, you may make less money. Let's say, for example, maybe they'll give you $40 for a roofing lead, and they might get $60 for that roofing lead. But in the reality of it all, it's passive income. You don't have to deal with the headaches and the negotiation and everything else, and time is money in the end. Video number 3 is figuring out your lead niche market. In this specific video, I'm going to give you some ideas on different types of niche markets that you can go into and how you can go about picking and choosing which one you want to go into. Video number 4 is demographics. We talk about the demographics of the customers themselves. If you understand the demographics and what their needs are, what their wants are, what their desires are, what keeps them up at night and their fears and things like that, you'll know how to better create the content around your site and videos that will appeal to your audience. Otherwise, it's just a guessing game. Video number 5 is basic keyword research. We want to do the basic keyword research as well as the basic LSI keyword research so that we get our content ranked on Google. And not only that, we can target the right audience. Video number 7, I'm going to talk about how to register your own keyword domain name or keyword rich domain name. Video number 8 is making your site look professional, and we'll be using WordPress in video number 8 to set up your landing page. Video number 9 is creating videos that will market and generate leads for you. This specific video is going to lead into the next video, which is video marketing. We're going to be using video marketing to drive leads to your site. And then video number 10, I'm going to show you how to upload your videos to YouTube, how to optimize your videos correctly, and as well as how to create backlinks to your video so that you can get your videos ranked high on the search engines. So the basic general strategy is to step number 1, find a local niche. Step number 2, research demographics and keywords properly. Step 3, set up a landing page. Step 4, apply to local lead CPA sites. Step 5, drive traffic with the video marketing strategy that I'll be showing you. And step number 6, rinse and repeat. So in this specific video course, you will get to watch over my shoulder, step by step, click by click, and learn how to implement this system the right way. So grab this video course today and begin generating leads for your local businesses and earn a passive commission on Clockwork. You've heard it all. There's money to be made in local marketing. But every time you get into the arena, you realize it's actually harder than it looks. Dealing with local businesses is a whole different animal. and can be complicated if you are not as familiar with this arena. Now, how would you like to make passive income without the need to sell to local businesses directly? I know I would, and when I stumbled upon this system, I no longer had to deal with local businesses that were really hard to deal with. Finally, a system that doesn't require you to sell anything to anyone or deal with local businesses and owners directly. In this video series, you're going to learn how to earn a nice passive income by simply connecting potential customers and local businesses together, starting today. What I want to do now is give you a quick videos overview of all the videos that are in this specific video series. The first video is the introduction to generating leads for local businesses. In that video, I will cover everything that you will need to get started and how it all works. Video number 2 is lead generation brokering companies. These specific companies deal directly with local businesses so that you don't have to. And because they deal with local businesses, if you generate leads for them, then they will usually give you a certain amount of money per lead. So in other words, you're getting paid whenever somebody fills out a form. Similarly to CPA online type offers. But in this case, we're dealing with local lead generation companies. So instead of you dealing with the local businesses, somebody else is, and you're generating leads for that company. Now, you may make less money. Let's say, for example, maybe they'll give you $40 for a roofing lead, and they might get $60 for that roofing lead. But in the reality of it all, it's passive income. You don't have to deal with the headaches and the negotiation and everything else, and time is money in the end. Video number 3 is figuring out your lead niche market. In this specific video, I'm going to give you some ideas on different types of niche markets that you can go into and how you can go about picking and choosing which one you want to go into. Video number 4 is demographics. We talk about the demographics of the customers themselves. If you understand the demographics and what their needs are, what their wants are, what their desires are, what keeps them up at night, and their fears and things like that, you'll know how to better create the content around your site and videos that will appeal to your audience. Otherwise, it's just a guessing game. Video number 5 is basic keyword research. We want to do the basic keyword research as well as the basic LSI keyword research so that we get our content ranked on Google. And not only that, we can target the right audience. Video number 7, I'm going to talk about how to register your own keyword domain name or keyword rich domain name. Video number 8 is making your site look professional, and we'll be using WordPress in video number 8 to set up your landing page. Video number 9 is creating videos that will market and generate leads for you. This specific video is going to lead into the next video, which is video marketing. We're going to be using video marketing to drive leads to your site. And then video number 10, I'm going to show you how to upload your videos to YouTube, how to optimize your videos correctly, and as well as how to create backlinks to your video so that you can get your videos ranked high on the search engines. So the basic general strategy is to step number 1, find a local niche. Step number 2, research demographics and keywords properly. Step 3, set up a landing page. Step 4, apply to local lead CPA sites. Step 5, drive traffic with the video marketing strategy that I'll be showing you. And step number 6, rinse and repeat. So in this specific video course, you will get to watch over my shoulder, step by step, click by click, and learn how to implement this system the right way. So grab this video course today and begin generating leads for your local businesses and earn a passive commission on Clockwork.